So you want to draw muscular male characters, but you know nothing about anatomy. Look no further, this is the right video for you. Grab your pencils and crayons or something, because we are about to draw some muscles. Disclaimer though, this video is strictly about male bodies. My next video will be about female bodies. 2. This is the drawing method I use. It might not work for you. Draw as you please. There are no rules in art. Alright, let's get started. I like to have a form of reference for what I'm drawing. I highly recommend you use one, especially when you're starting out as a beginner. So here I've put together a reference sheet I found from Pinterest. I'm using this pyramid head as the body subject, and I'm using this person here as a face subject. Now that we have our reference, onward, time for the sketch. Let's start from the head. I don't know why, but it's much more easier to draw everything once you're started with the head. Then I add the rib cage. Since we're drawing a muscular character, we're going to give him a large rib cage. Then I block in the waist or pelvis. Now in men, the waist or pelvis doesn't really matter as much as it does in women. For his limbs, I draw in cylinders and circle for joints. Make the cylinders thick so it looks like you're staring at a brick wall. Now I'll reduce the opacity of the sketch layer and add in a new layer for the line art. In this stage, I start shaping the muscles. I like to start with the chest and abs because they give me the most difficulty. Then I move to the biceps. If you feel like you're having any difficulty, just go back and look at your reference. Ibis Paint X has a reference window. It makes things so much easier when you have a reference. Just copy what you see. Then I add in the facial features, the hair, and so on. I'm not focusing much on the lower body today. I might create a video on how to draw legs and glutes in the future. Now I add in the base color. Nothing special here. Now onto the fun stuff. It's time to add shadows. This will give the muscles you're drawing a 3D look. First, I'm creating my shade color by reducing the brightness of my base color by 10 and increasing the saturation of my base color by 10. There we have it. Then I start adding the shade. I'm using a round brush. I use a round brush for both coloring and shading. Now, be sure to pay attention to the light source in your reference. Since the light is coming from above, naturally, the shadows will be under. Now I'm using the blurring tool to blend it in. Please don't overdo it. Try to preserve some of the hard edges in your shadows. Now for highlights, a little disclaimer, I have some issues with highlights on human skin, so his skin might look like plastic. There's only one way to find out. I'll just trust the process. For the highlights, I'll use the add layer in Ibis Paint X. In case you don't know, it's a blending mode in Ibis Paint X. It makes things brighter. I'm using the round brush for this too. Don't be afraid if it looks a bit hard. Trust the process. But if you're just starting out, you can use the airbrush. Try not to be too reliant on it. It looks too hard, but that's when the blur tool comes in. Now you're going to smoothen it aggressively. Then keep adding more highlights to it, blending it. Keep adding more until it looks right. We are almost done. I'm adding the finishing touches. Like I said earlier, I'm not good with lighting on lower body, so I'm going to leave it for now. Leave it as it is. And maybe in the future, I'll create a separate video for lower body. I really appreciate if you made it to the end of this video. Alright, my next video is going to be about drawing female bodies. So subscribe for more content and stay tuned for the next video, or if you're from the future, watch this video next. Bye.